Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday, June 5th meeting of the Lebanon Utility Service Board. Let the record reflect that all board members are present tonight, and there was a short working session prior at which no formal decisions were made. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first item tonight is the approval of minutes from the May 22nd, 2019 meeting. Anyone have any questions or corrections from those minutes? All right, if not, I would entertain a motion to approve those.
I make a motion we approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Jim to approve the minutes from the May 22nd, 2019 meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next item is Resolution 2019-02, Payment in lieu of taxes. This is an action item. Steve Hinkey is here in place of Jeff Jacob. Jeff's gone, and Steve is nice enough to be here and explain this resolution for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As per the board's direction, we've put together a resolution recommending the city review the payments in lieu of taxes that it collects from the utility on an annual basis, as opposed to its current policy of collecting 100% of the pilot amount every year. And of course, I'm happy to entertain any questions. Otherwise, I will go ahead and read the resolution. Whereas the City of Lebanon, Indiana, the city owns and operates through its utility service board, the board, a municipal utility known as Lebanon Utilities, the utility for the purposes of providing electric, telecommunications, water, and wastewater services in and around the city. Whereas pursuant to Indiana Code Section 8-1.5-3-8G, the utility must calculate and collect an amount sufficient to compensate the city for taxes that would be due on real property owned by the utility as if the property were privately owned, payment in lieu of taxes or pilot. Whereas pursuant to Indiana Code Section 8-1.5-3-8G, the city may elect to transfer collected pilot funds from the utility to the municipal general fund. Whereas in December 2010, the Common Council for the City of Lebanon elected to collect the entire pilot from the rates and charges of the utility by passing Resolution 2010-07, to wit, in accordance with Indiana Code 8-1.5-3-8G, the Common Council of the City of Lebanon City hereby elects to transfer to the city's general fund a payment in lieu of taxes from the rates and charges of Lebanon Utilities, an amount sufficient to compensate the city for taxes that would be due the city on property owned by the Lebanon Utility as if the property were privately owned. Whereas since December 2010, the fiscal standing of the city has improved, including tax changes which have modified the real property taxes collected by the city. Whereas the utility to provide services throughout the city requires regular maintenance and improvement to the infrastructure of its various systems. Whereas the Lebanon Utility Services Board projects capital expenditures for the utility in the coming years that will necessitate rate increases for its services, whereas the pilot fund provides a flexible means to balance the budgetary needs of the utility and the city on an annual basis, whereas the current policy of electing full transfer of pilot funds from the utility to the city may cause for a sooner need to adjust the utility services or tariffs, whereas the utility suggests that the city modify its Resolution 2010-07 to permit annual flexibility in the amount of pilot collected from the utility during the city budgetary process. Now therefore be it resolved that the board recommends that the city revise Resolution 2010-07 as follows. In accordance with Indiana Code Section 8-1.538G, the Common Council of the City of Lebanon City hereby elects to transfer to the city's general fund a payment in lieu of taxes from the rates and charges of Lebanon Utilities, an amount up to the taxes that would be due the city on the property owned by Lebanon Utilities as if the property were privately owned, The amount of pilot collected from the utility will be reviewed and determined by the city on an annual basis after presentation from the utility during the city's budget work sessions, which shall include projected capital improvement projects to the utility infrastructure. Of course, I'm happy to entertain any questions on the propriety of this resolution.
Thank you, Steve. So essentially, in a nutshell, what this resolution asks the city to do is consider the amount, the pilot amount that the utilities pays to the city annually as opposed to enacting the full amount as they have since 2010, working together with utilities and reviewing the needs of both the city and the utilities. Sound correct?
Yes.
All right. Any questions for Steve on this resolution? All right, if not, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion that to approve Resolution 2019-02 regarding payment in lieu of taxes, and that it be sent to the Common Council for the City of Lebanon for consideration.
Second.
Motion made by Aaron, seconded by Dan to approve Resolution 2019-02, payment in lieu of taxes. Any other discussion or questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Thank you. Next item is approval of the claims. Everybody had a chance to review the claims, and if so, any questions about the claims?
I move that we approve payment of the claims.
Second.
Motion made by Dan, seconded by Bill to approve the claims. Any discussion or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next item is the certification recognition from the Water Department. This is an information item, and our wastewater manager, Ryan Ottinger, is here. And Ryan, do you have any? And you're up like you are a lot.
Previously, we acknowledged a couple of certifications within our departments, and we had one more to acknowledge. Chad couldn't be here today, but Chad Nance, he came to utilities with a DSM, which is for distribution system, but population-wise did not cover the utilities. So therefore, he did obtain his DSL, which lets him is certified to serve a population of anything over 10,000 population. So now he's upgraded that. He did a good job, went to the classes that we provided and obtained the certification. So I just wanted to recognize Chad and his efforts in obtaining another certification.
Excellent. Thanks, Ryan. Congratulations to Chad. Next item is other business that may come before the board. Does anybody have any other business tonight?
Yes, I'd like to introduce our electric operations manager, Jeff Greeno. And again, he recently promoted through an oversight. We didn't recognize him at the board, but he's been in this role a while now, and we really appreciate him. So I'd like to invite him up to the podium. He's got a short presentation on the electric projects we have underway.
Good evening. Got a little short presentation here to help distinguish between our two 69 kV electric projects we got going on. First of all, the 69 kV South Loop, the objective was reliability, provide Lebanon utilities with an independent 69 kV service to central and west substations. The project stats were 3.3 miles. There were 89 wood poles, 9 steel poles. The contractor is Gaylor. Originally, the schedule was supposed to be September 10th, 2018 to February 7th of 2019. Things got changed around due to other circumstances. So line construction schedule now is September 10th, 2018 to July 19th, 2019. And some of the problems that occurred were, as to date, we've had 22 days of related to material and design changes, and 27 days due to weather, and 5 days to do switching delays.
So can I ask a question, please?
Yes,
Would you go back to that slide?
yes.
I thought the line was connected to the central substation. How does the west substation factor into this improvement?
Actually, there should be another substation added onto that, the north sub. It actually runs into central sub, which from there, it'll hook into our internal 69 kV loop system we have throughout the city. So,
Okay, so in essence, the entire city benefits from this extra loop?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. The line the 69 kV South Loop line, it's coming out of the Duke Prairie Creek sub. It's located on 100 South, just east of town. And the other picture there is kind of looking out sub, looking back west towards Lebanon. Here's some more pictures we have.
Hey, Jeff, will those wooden poles that we see there left of the steel poles, are those going away, or are those necessary to stay? On the next slide there, on the left, the wood pole next to the steel pole, do those remain?
Those poles should be removed, but there's communication lines on them, so we're kind of at the mercy of them getting off the pole. But as far as electrical stuff, our stuff will be off of them.
Yeah, so it'll look a little cleaner
Yes.
than these pictures indicate.
Yes, like I said, we're at their mercy of them getting
Sure.
off the wood pole. Here's some more pictures we have. This is Thompson Street on the left, looking north. The picture on the right, the 69 kV line, it has to go over top of the existing Duke 69 kV line that feeds the Enterprise substation. That's on Noble Street. So those two steel poles had to be fairly close, and they're also very tall. They're like, I believe, how tall, there's Rod, 90s? Yeah, I believe they're like Rod said, 85, 90-foot steel poles. So we could have clearance to go over top of that existing 69 kV line. The 69 kV South Loop, right now the poles and conductor are in place along 100 South and Indianapolis Avenue. They have tension and clamped in the conductor along Thompson North through the park, and all that should finish up week of June 3rd. They should have complete tie-in, cleanup, and removal at 100 South and Indianapolis Avenue intersection the week of June 7th. They are pulling conductor in along poles from Thompson to the bowling alley the week of June 17th. They plan on crossing Duke Line there on Noble Street in Hamilton the week of June 17th. The crews plan on pulling conductor from Central Substation south along Hamilton to Noble the week of July 1st. They have a schedule of complete tie-in and cleanup line segments the week of July 8th. Then they're going to go back and attach 48 count fiber from Central Substation to Duke Prairie Creek the week of July 8th. Tie-in Lebanon Central Substation and Duke Prairie Creek the week of July 15th. Then they'll go back and double check everything for restoration along the line route. Then they'll do their relay testing and energize the week of July 22nd. Our second project is the 69 kV reroute. Its objective was NDOT on Indianapolis Avenue, part of their Phase 2 project. We had to remove a pole that was in the way on Indianapolis Avenue and Spencer Street. And part of that project is Lieu substation de-energized and 69 kV reroute removal going down Indianapolis Avenue. The timeline, design and bid February 5th, 2019 to target completion of May 31st, 2019. The project stats on this job was we have 0.4 miles of line, 14 wood poles, 1 wood pole remove, that's the one at Indianapolis and Spencer, and 1 pole to add Indianapolis and Spencer. The contractor was Hinkle McCoy. They are doing the 69 kV part of the project, and Lebanon Utilities will be doing the 12 kV distribution circuit. The line construction schedule was May 1st, 2019 to June 7th, 2019. So far, we're just 5 days behind due to weather. Here's some pictures of what's going on the reroute project.
Jeff, to interrupt you, that south easement, that's going to get cleaned up when they're all done. Gaylor's responsible for restoration. It's just not done yet. I just wanted to...
This actually is Hinkle McCoy.
Oh, I'm
And they've
sorry.
already-
Yeah.
They've already cleaned that mess up there.
Okay, thanks.
The 69 kV reroute, their schedule is poles and conductor in place, tension and clamp in conductor on Elm Street, week of June 3rd. Complete tie-in at Elm Street and South Easement, June 7th. The restoration along line route and re-energize Central Substation to North Substation, June 7th. Here's some, there was the original design, and the pole there on the right, the big tall pole, is the pole that NDOT is requiring us to remove, which we will start in on that as soon as we energize the new reroute, and we can start wrecking that line out. That's all I have. Do I have any questions, or?
Are you going to close the street down when you're doing the crossover, or when you're doing that?
I actually have talked to the city police department, asked us if they could give us a hand and help direct traffic.
Okay,
We've been out there off and on this week, excuse me, and traffic's been pretty minimum since they have part of that road blocked now. But
okay,
I'm still gonna look into them helping us.
okay.
Anything else for Jeff?
Hey, Jeff, thanks. Good job. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good info.
Anything else needs to come before the board tonight? Any public comment? Questions? All right, at this point, the next board meeting is scheduled for the 19th of June with possible change to the 26th, but that's still up in the air. So if there's nothing else tonight, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Dan, seconded by Jim to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, guys.
Yep.